Right, hello, welcome to another LEGO Star Wars review. In front of you, you are looking at the set number 75433. You are looking at Jango Fetts Starship. For veteran fans of Star Wars, it's known as the Slave One. Or for the Generate GZ people, known as the Fire Spray. For Gen Z fools, no offense, but this is a good set. This is the first time, this is the only version of the set I own. You get 3 minifigures, you get interchangeable heads for Jango, and and a new rangefinder for Jango Fett. So this is my second Cambernoan minifig I've got. I do have one from the Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter, which if you want to see a review of that one, let me know. Right. First of all, then, we'll have a look at the minifigs in the set. Right, here we are. Here is the small build to go with it. It's technically a stand. It's a stand to put your set on, which is excellent. Saves me mucking about with a stand. Ignore those, because they are stud shooters. And I don't know why I put that in there. I think that was meant to put the guns in, but I found a new spot for the guns. I need to take that off at some point. Right, how it shows. Oh, for goodness sake, can I have a message? You just open this up. You bring the set. You bring the slate. You bring it in, and it goes in like that. Like that. That is how you keep the Slave One on the display stand. Now, the next part, and then the features. I forgot to mention the features on the ship. Next thing is I'll have a look at the ship. Right, now, the ship itself. Yeah, it's a brilliant set. The only downside to it is actually the stud shooters. It's actually the stud shooters. There you go, those with those little wings, the top parts of the wings, they flip out as you move. And on the back, it has a handle. On the back it has a handle. I never knew that was. So you have a handle on the back. And yes, you can place 2 minifigs inside. Jango and Boba can go in the ship together. But putting Boba at the back. Then Jango at the front. You all know how stud shooters work. And then you see you get 2 of these. Basically, you stick that in the ship, stick it in, and like that. And then the little panel goes up. The little panel goes at the back. Or you just push this little lever. Or you just push the lever back. Right. What I tend to do is I tend to keep one charge in here, and I'll stick the other one on the vehicle. Right. There's the ship. Now, we'll have a look at the minifigs. We'll have a look at the minifigs first. Starting with the Cambernoan first. Right. First comparison is the Cyclone from from one of my Sonic sets. I will put a card in for that. If you want to see the full review of the Cyclone, there's the Cyclone. Or should I put this in plane mode? Or should I put it in vehicle mode? There we are. I forgot to mention in its review, you could transform this into vehicle mode. There you go. There is the Cyclone. There's the Cyclone compared with the Slave One. Or Starship for Z-Gen generation. The final comparison I want to do is Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. I haven't reviewed this yet. So this is the almost accurate to each other. But this is Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Against the veteran fans known as the Slave One, or Generation Z, the fans, the Fire Spray. I notice my sticker is peeling, but hey, I hate stickers and sets. There we are. There's the two comparisons. And then just do the overall of the set. There we are. Here is the Kaminoan. I forgot what his name is. But I know he's my second Kaminoan. But I think my first one is too deep into one of my bags. But I think he's like the Chancellor Kaminoan. I don't know. How much I love the sequels, the prequels, but I still can't remember his name. Right. He's got the same dress pieces like with the other Kaminoan figure I have, and my Palpatine figure from the gunship. He's got no printing, but he has got no printing. He's got printing on the back, but not at the front. Now, we'll do a couple of comparisons with a couple of minifigures I know. Right, minifig comparisons. For comparison, there he is with my Dr. Eggman minifig. My Eggman figure. Two unique figure molds. Hey, here's Dr. Eggman. Party Eggman. I don't want to get copyright because I love that song from Sonic Adventure 2. I recommend playing it. It's quite a fun, good game. Anyway, here's Eggman. The next one is Art Trooper 5. The next one is 5. Another good clone I like is 5. There he is with the Kaminoan and 5 together. I do apologise if there's fireworks going around. Bing bang. Right, there's 5. Right, here's Captain Rex. The one for the microfighter. Here's Rex. I will put a card into Rex if you want to see the review of the microfighter. There's Captain Rex. Comparison with the Kaminoan. There's Rexy boy. Right. And just for the sake of it, oh my god, my stands for. Just for the sake of it is Jango himself. There's Jango himself. Please note, this is not the UCS version. This is the place set version. Now, there's Jango. Now, further ado, we'll now have a look at young Boba Fett next. Right, here's young Boba. There's been a lot of criticism about this minifig, particularly, including the original actor, what I heard. Yes. I'm not a fan of the hairpiece myself, but it's nice to have a Boba Fett minifig in the set. Anyway, he doesn't have much printing, as you can tell. He's one of my third small kid-sized minifigs. Well, because I got one in my Jurassic World Rebirth set, and I've got Tails from a Sonic set review, which I will show in the next part of the comparison. Right, for comparison, there he is with Captain Rex. Rex this time. No one else but Rex. No one else but the captain. No one else but the captain himself. There we go. There's Captain Rex and Boba. I've got one special comparison, which features a Sonic figure. Will be the next comparison. Now, here is Tails. As I said, Tails. Tails uses the same minifig body for the small person. But the difference is he's got a tail built in the back. And in his construction. That's why I wanted to compare him with Boba, which is amazing. There we are. Now, the moment of truth we are going to now have a look at Jango Fett himself. Right, here's the man himself, Jango Fett. My first ever Jango Fett minifig. It's a shame it's not the printed version, because that's the UCS version of the well, Jango Starship for GZ people who don't like the name, or for veteran Star Wars fans, the Slave One. That will pee off the Disney company, but I don't care. Yes, he's got a changeable hairpiece. It's quite easy. You just pop his mask off. You pop his mask off, and you just put the new hairpiece in. You just put the hairpiece in. Then you put the hairpiece in. There you go. If I remember correctly, does he have a second facial impression? If I remember correctly, he does. If I remember, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I've just remembered correctly. Now, I'm just trying to remember. Did Boba Fett have one? Yes, Boba Fett did have one. I forgot to mention, there's Boba Fett's one. I forgot to mention Boba Fett. Forgot to mention Boba Fett had a reversible face. My bad. Right. There's Jango's other face. There's just his hairpiece. So I prefer him with the armour on, personally. Because that's the Jango I grew up with. Anyway, further ado, we'll do some comparisons. With 2 minifigs this time. Right, for comparison. There he is with Captain Rex. The donor and the clone. What a before and after. Rex created the clone. Jango created the gene for the clones. And there's Jango. And there's Jango and Rex together. The next comparison of really one out of interest is Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic is actually one of the minifigs. He's one of the minifigs from the Cyclone set. There's Metal Sonic and Jango together. Beauties. Now, next thing is, we'll talk overall of the set. Right, my overall in the set. It's a pro. My pros is it's affordable. But the only downside to the set is the stud shooters at the bottom. Which I love this set. I've always dreamed to owning one of these sets. But I kind of preferred the Jango version because that's the one I grew up with. If you don't like the term Slave One, you can moan at me in the comments. If you don't like me saying that. Well, tough. Because it's for Star Wars fans. I appreciate the Star Wars fans. And I've grown up with that name of the ship. So my life is with that name. And it will always be known as the Slave One. Disney demons, eh? Anyway. I better get this edited. I'll better get this edited and uploaded. Have a good new year. And stay tuned, there might be some more Lego sets next year. Stay tuned, stay safe, have a good new year, and I'll see you in another video.